Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome. Since his inauguration, President Trump has waged war on public servants, especially federal workers and their unions. The president violated union contracts, including by firing tens of thousands of federal workers, used his fork in the road proposal to strong arm federal workers into resigning and waving away their legal rights and illegally attempting to nullify union contracts ratified in December of 2024 and January of 2025. As Secretary of Labor, will you abide by the terms of collective bargaining agreements between the Department of Labor and federal agency staff unions?
Thank you, Senator. It was nice to visit with you. I know it's been a few weeks since we had that meeting, so I appreciate you being here today. Certainly, the Department of Labor is outside of the NLRB, where collective bargaining is committed and happening, independent of the Department of Labor. So I will, work with your office in determining exactly what it is that you're specifically asking, but outside of the Department of Labor is to protect the American worker. And then, of course, as we overlap, because the Department of Labor expands a little bit more than collective bargaining and unfair labor practices under the NLRB.
But will you advise President Trump and Elon Musk that they must reverse all decisions that violated the contracts that were negotiated between the unions and their agency employer?
Well, certainly my role, if confirmed, is to advise the president on a full picture, and I will be candid on what that full picture looks like and then work with the White House. And if it aligns with the president's America First agenda, I will be that advisor to him, yes.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, collective bargaining is not part of his agenda, and that's where the Department of Labor historically has intervened to make sure that those protections are put in place. In 2023, during a House Committee on Education and Workforce markup, you said you can't have a strong union without the presence of the NLRB. On January 27th, President Trump illegally fired NLRB board member Gwen Wilcox in direct violation of the National Labor Relations Act. The NLRB now lacks a quorum and cannot enforce laws meant to protect working people from union busting and other illegal behavior by companies. And last night, President Trump signed an executive order stating the previously independent NLRB must now report to him. And the overall effect of this full-on assault is that President Trump has left workers unprotected with no way to exercise their labor rights. So as Secretary of Labor, you will be the president's top advisor on labor issues. If President Trump called you today and asked if he should reinstate Gwen Wilcox, how would you advise him?
Well, that's a hypothetical, as you know, and I have not been confirmed. But I respect the president's executive authority to run the executive office as he sees fit. He is the one who was elected president by the American people, and he's honoring the promise he made to the American people. If confirmed, I will work on behalf of the president, but I will present him a clear and candid picture with the facts, and we will consult then together. But it is important from the Department of Labor that I give him that full picture.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, according to President Trump, the NLRB is no longer an independent agency. And by signing that executive order to abolish the independence of the NLRB, it puts a lot of pressure on you to make sure that there is a protection for the independence and capacity of that agency. And I appreciate your record of engaging with unions, but workers are under threat at their workplace and in their homes. Greedy corporate executives chip away at their rights, lay them off, got their retirement, all while driving up prices. And the president is letting the richest man on the planet cut public school funding, threatening our children's education and jobs of the largest sector of union workers in the country. He lined his inauguration with billionaires collectively worth over $1 trillion. And since his inauguration, union workers in Massachusetts have already lost many, many jobs. And some of my Republican colleagues are eyeing cuts to programs that help people get food, housing, and health care. So if you're confirmed, and I'm assuming that you will be, I commit to working in support of all workers, and I hope you will work with me to stand up to President Trump when he takes actions that harm American workers. I think it's very important that the Department of Labor and you be the voice for those workers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Markey, and now Senator Hawley.